Hi, my name is Jack, and here I'm going to introduce you to the PV200 unit and the differences between the two packages of the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus, and the different features on how you can authenticate yourself in front of the unit, either using keypad entry, magnetic cards, proximity cards, or chip keys. All right, currently this PV200, along with the FSC 3000, you have the ability to hold up to 2,000 cards and 500 transactions, and the ability to upgrade that if necessary. Now you can either have your fuel site controller installed internally or externally within your office. Now this is really the brains of the unit and how it authenticates cards. Whatever transactions are coming in, that's where it stores all of the cards as well. So the Enterprise package, you have the ability to communicate out to one merchant, or if you were to do and purchase the upgraded package, which is the Enterprise Plus, you have the choice to have the ability to do up to 5 networks using Enterprise Plus, such as TCH, NBS, Payment Tech, and a bunch of other ones that weren't mentioned. All right, so this is the face of the PV200. We have a 5.7-inch display up on top where it kind of shows you the instructions on how to use the unit. Notice a little bit of the icons here. We've got the time. You can program your fuel site controller to indicate what kind of keys you're taking, whether if it's keypad entry, prox, magnetic, or what I'm showing here is actually chip key. Down below, you have your receipt printer here, which is optional in your package, whether if you want to use that or not. Your magnetic card reader, and I actually also installed a chip key reader for our demonstration for today. And down below here, we have stainless, alpha, and numeric keypads. Also during the nighttime, in case if you needed it, we also have these illuminated lights so you can see it in the dark. So also I'm going to show you 2 ways of identifying yourself, whether if you're using a single card, which I've set up as a magnetic card, and there's a 2-step process if you wanted to do a driver identification as well as a vehicle identification, which is a 2-step combo. As a single user, if you just wanted to identify yourself in front of the unit and get authentication for fuel, you can go ahead and just swipe your card in, and it asks you what pump you're using. So right now, it's going to ask me which pump. I could set up, I have this set for pump number 6, and then I set up a little bit of a modulator in here so I can emulate that I'm getting fuel. I'll go ahead, I'll close the transaction. You hear the relay shut off. And now if I want to go ahead and issue a receipt to myself for my transaction, I can go ahead and have that printed out for you. The receipt is pretty self-explanatory, kind of gives you a little bit of a description on your product, what you chose, what pump, how much you've dispensed, and the total amount. The other way to go ahead and identify yourself is you can use the keypad entry. I would recommend using a PIN number when you're doing keypad entry, so this way nobody else can illegitimately put in the same card number and not know the PIN number. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my test card, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to ask me for my vehicle card to identify which vehicle I'm using. It'll also ask me what would be the odometer for the vehicle. Currently right now it's asking for my PIN number, so I'm going to go ahead and jot that in. That's tied in with my driver card. And then it's going to ask for my odometer of my vehicle. So I'll just put a 1505 on my odom. Now it'll ask me what pump. I can choose pump number 5. Hear the relay click on, and I'll be able to emulate pumping fuel. After my transaction is complete and my car is full, go ahead and close out on your transaction. And then I'll be able to issue a receipt by putting in my driver number. Now, if you want to go ahead and communicate out to a merchant and be able to authorize credit cards at your site, it basically works the same way as a magnetic card. And how we go about doing that is after when they swipe their card, this information from their card shoots back out to their network. The unit dials out to the merchant along with the credit card information, which is all PCI compliant at that point, sends it out, and the merchant has the ability to authorize or not authorize the transaction. I'm going to show you how to do additional prompts in case if your client needs those additional questions answered for each transaction. So today I'm going to show you an example for an airport. So if I'm the pilot, I want to go ahead and insert my card. It's a single card. I'm going to enter my odometer, 1508 as example, and then it should ask me my additional prompts. Is the plane grounded? It's a yes or no question. Hit yes. F4 for yes. It'll give me the letters in the tail number. I could just do 2 letters, so I can do AA. And then the third prompt is the numbers in the tail number. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it should ask me which pump I want to use. Pump number 5, hit enter, and now I'm ready to fuel. Okay. So I went ahead and turned the unit off. I set dip switch 1 to bring myself into terminal setup mode, so this way you can configure the PV200 for your site. This is here where you can go ahead and adjust your fit address, depending on how many of these readers you have at your site, the communication parameters and how fast or how slow it will communicate, the readers that you have installed, displaying your pocket lights up here, where if you want them dimmer or brighter, the sound volume for each one, the receipt printer with if you want to have that installed, dedicated pump, and your network numbers, which is basically the 4 first numbers on your magnetic card. All right, so this is the inside of the PV200. Right up here, right behind your display is the main board for the reader. This is what communicates to everything inside your unit. I have a chip key reader installed, magnetic card. This is your receipt printer. And back here, this is where you can install your fuel site controller, with if you wanted that FSC 3000 installed internally. And over here, I have a pump control module. This power supply here gives you the ability to independently turn off and turn on your fuel island terminal or your fuel site controller. So if you wanted to turn off your terminal, you can turn it off using this. And if you just wanted to turn off your fuel site controller separately, you can go ahead and turn that off and back on as well. Your readers are really easy to install here. You have the ability to independently plug in, whether if you have an alpha keypad, your numeric keypad, you have your chip key reader here, and I believe this is for your magnetic, and you can also install proximity. You can do up to 2 readers. Popular is magnetic card and chip keys. If you want to go a little bit on the higher end, you can go ahead and get yourself a proximity reader, which will probably replace where the magnetic card reader is right now. If you really need to work on the unit inside, it's actually really easy to remove this door. All you would have to do is remove this power cable here, and this whole thing just kind of lifts up and removes hinges. It's a little heavy, so be careful with it. Currently right now on the bottom, I have the pump control modulator installed here. Actually, you can have 4 pump control modules installed right inside the pedestal of the unit. This will allow more room for wireless communication and your internal fuel site controller. The setup that I'm showing you here is just the Enterprise version. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and upgrade to the Enterprise Plus, you have the ability to also authenticate your vehicles wirelessly using the automated vehicle identification system. So let's say you had this unit installed at a remote location, such as a marina. You can actually communicate to the unit using wireless cellular communications. The unit is actually very customizable. This can be installed on your building, where you could authenticate yourself to get inside the building. It could also open up gates or garage doors. So that basically sums up our demonstration with the PV200. Thanks for watching.